Okay, so it's been a long time since I've made a video, and there's several reasons for that. I kind of fell off the bandwagon. I had a big slump, a big red day that I just lost all confidence in myself. A large part of that is I had a major life event that kind of shook me to the core. My wife and I ended up losing our 20-week-old baby, and it was one of the hardest thing I've ever gone through. So I had a really hard time accepting a loss, and this definitely correlated to my performance trading, and I kind of just like micro gave up, but didn't. I was still showing up to the desk, but I wasn't willing to make videos and just a whole bunch of things. On that note, I hit a really bad slump, not only with trading, just with like general life. My health, I've been like kind of deteriorating as far as like my fitness level has been deteriorating. I'm overeating. Like there's lots of things that my discipline in life is just absolutely tanked. And the recovery on that is that I finally reached a point where enough's enough, and I'm gonna just try to get back on track here. And life is like that, you have your waves, but this was a big wave for me and my family. And moving on, I ended up switching brokers, so I left Questrade. I had enough with their absolutely garbage. It's a garbage broker, and ended up going with Interactive Brokers. So I switched my broker with Interactive. That took a while to send the funds over, and then what I ended up doing is essentially consolidating all my funds into Interactive Brokers. And then I ended up paying for some education. So I now am a part of EmmanuelTrades, and I'm working through his like university level education with trading. And I am jumping on a couple live trades with him weekly and just taking the education really seriously. There's a lot of stuff in there I did know, but there's so much I didn't know. And one of the biggest nuggets I got was his risk management calculator, and just how to identify your risk, where to put your entries and stop losses, why you should have a stop loss, and just there's so much stuff in there. Really good. I highly recommend it if you're thinking about trading. But anywho, all that to say, I'm back on track as far as taking trading seriously. I'm slowly starting to get back to the gym. I'm trying to eat less, and I'm just trying to like get myself out of the slump essentially. So yeah, that's why you haven't seen a video from me in a long time, and that was a very long intro to this. But I would like to show you, I did record this trade a couple days ago. This was on Netflix, and I was looking for a long. So you can see this blue line here is where I entered the position, and my sell stop was the bottom. Now this was not like a picture perfect setup by any means, but I'm just gonna get through it here. So we're having a hard time breaking that high. We ended up breaking the high, and then what I ended up doing is I was trailing my stop to avoid losses essentially. And what kind of sucks is this did end up going to 78.50. So this is one of the things I'm working on, is just not trailing my stops too tight and being willing to accept the risk that I'm going to let the trade go all the way to my TP, which was this mark, or I'm going to accept the risk. So that trade I should have never taken anyways, because it was a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So it wasn't really a good trade to take in the first place. So that was one trade I took, if I'm being completely honest. And this is another trade I took. This was yesterday. Both these trades were yesterday, actually. So this is a bottom-up reversal, is what I call it. Manuel calls it exhaustion buy setup. So I entered the position with the break of this resistance, which that ended up happening. And I ended up trailing, I'm just going to keep skipping above here. I ended up trailing my position, again, very tightly on this buy setup, and ended up getting I ended up getting filled right here. So as you can see, this one candle all of a sudden wicks down and fills my position. So I was trailing it really tight. I was also looking at bid and ask, so the buy and sell bid orders, and I was seeing that the selling was coming in above 611 pretty hard, and this actually ended up going way lower. So on that one, it's good that I exited the position because I was also very close to the 20-day moving average on the 1 minute time frame, and it rejected from there. So it was kind of a quick scalp anyways, and that was actually quite a good trade. Okay, see you later.